Hello and welcome to the Cornish Witch podcast. I'm your host Freyja, a witch who lives in Cornwall but who isn't a born and bred Cornish maid. In today's episode, Paul and I continue our conversation. We discuss his experiences as a physical medium and diviner, exploring the nuances of mediumship and the importance of spiritual protection. We talk about shadow work, the power of Moldavite, and the ancient practice of charm casting. He shares his personal stories that affirm his psychic abilities and reflects on the significance of daily practices and mindset in spirituality. Our conversation also touches on modern paganism and the interconnectedness of all beings. Paul, welcome back to the Cornish Witch podcast for part 2 of our episode today.
Thank you for having me back, darling. I appreciate it. Well, we've got a lot to talk about, haven't we?
We certainly have. I hope the listeners are enjoying it too. You've just got so much to say and you're so knowledgeable. Like I said, I could talk to you for hours. So definitely a good job. We've got, split the episode into 2.
I think it's a good idea.
I think it can be tricky, especially if you're in the car or you're doing something whilst you're listening to a podcast. You can miss things, especially when you're really enjoying it. So sometimes it is nice to have that break.
I agree.
So we've covered so much already in our first episode. And something that I've been wanting to ask you about is that I know that you call yourself a diviner, but you also mentioned that you're also a physical medium as well. So I was wondering if we could get into that and talk about what you interpret as a physical medium, but also how that does affect you physically as well, because it sounds very interesting.
I love that question, Freyja, because people, it's something that is misunderstood. From being a physical medium, or there's so many different things with mediumship. The different voyants that come in. It's really important to just pay attention to how you're feeling at that moment, right? And what happens with me is it comes on even if I'm not trying, when I'm doing healing, this is when I feel the most with my client and also anybody that comes through that's talking to them. And what happens is if somebody that's passed away, if I get like a really tight throat, my throat starts to go tight. It starts to feel like I'm struggling to speak. I can't breathe correctly. So that would say to me that they had difficulties breathing at the end of their time. And that would something then I would confirm with the client and say, I'll either say it's a gentleman or a lady that I'm feeling, because you get a different sensation with the person that you're reading with, whether it's male or female. Also children as well. When they're children, you feel different because it feels more of an innocent energy. But physical ailments of people that have struggled, I've had severe pains in my eyes, and somebody had been brutally attacked in their eye, without going into too much detail. I've had pains in my neck. Somebody had hung themselves. I've had pains in my stomach. Somebody had stomach cancer or prostate cancer, and that's what they died with. So different feelings with different people. I don't always get the sensation of them of what they died with, but what I do get when I'm working with clients as well is I start to feel how they're feeling inside their body. So it's like an energy connection. So when I share my energy with somebody, I pick up on how they're feeling, which then in turn helps me to cater my healing to their needs as opposed to just doing a general healing. So it's interesting. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. I won't say it's a curse. It's not a curse. It's a blessing at times.
Mm-hmm.
But also, it can happen at going. So there's a supermarket we go to, and there's a couple of ladies that unfortunately have to deal with me if we go there. And each time I go there, you know, it depends on who you're with. You pick up on things from people that have passed over.
Mm.
I don't like saying it to them because it can scare a few people. But I could be stood there at the checkout waiting, and then all of a sudden I can just feel this overwhelming feeling of love towards this person, like somebody's coming through to talk to them. I mean, it is, you know, is what we do. You do have to sort of turn on, turn off sort of thing when you're working, but sometimes it has to come through and you have to relay the message because somebody's trying to come through to them. So it's interesting, Freyja. Like I say, when it comes on at the most inconvenient of times, it's a bit of annoying, really. But yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, it also sounds very intense as well. How do you
It
feel
is.
after that? I mean, especially, well, I mean, it's when you're planning on doing it. So if you're planning on
Yeah,
having a reading with someone, you are aware that this is going to have an effect on you physically. So I suppose you can make preparations for that. But I guess,
yeah.
for lack of a better term, when you're spiritually sabotaged, when you're just going about your daily life, that
Yeah.
could, how does that leave you feeling afterwards?
Violated.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I mean, I mean, again, when with this, what we do, I say to everybody, yes, I know, we take away from what we do, but I honestly, hand on my heart, what we do is to help people. That
Mm,
we are given an opportunity to share an energy with somebody at a time of need, and our duty is to help and support them. So if it comes through whenever, it comes through whenever, but we just try our best to not allow it to affect us too much. Um, but yeah, there's boundaries. They know there's boundaries. Again, there's like an activation, deactivation, and it does leave you feeling drained, to be honest with you, because it's like you're fighting in silence,
mhm,
not to allow your feelings and information to come through for somebody that you're standing with, that you
mm,
know they need the information to help and support them. So it can be frustrating. It can be very invasive for the person as well. But, you know, I'm a big believer in say it as it is. And if somebody needs to hear something, they need to hear it. As long as
yeah,
I'll say to them, I'm feeling something. I won't just say to them, oh, you know, this, that, and the other. I would be more polite than that and just say to
yeah,
them, I'm feeling that I need to share some information with you about somebody that's passed. Are you okay with me to share what I'm feeling? And if they say yes, then I will. To be honest with you, Freyja, you'd be shocked how many people say no. The majority say no.
yeah. I
So,
mean,
yeah.
yeah, I wonder if it's I s I think that we are not very good at dealing
Mm,
with death and
it's
grief
true.
in this
That's
country.
true, my love.
We're very
Yeah.
stiff upper lip, blah, 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 and
Yeah.
majority of people that say no, I wonder if it's because they haven't dealt with their own grief, and that could tip
Absolutely.
them over the edge. So it's a fear of the unknown, but then a fear of losing control and giving yourself
Yeah.
and surrendering to it. And as
Yeah.
British people, we suck at it.
It's true. It's true. We are quite a stubborn country, to be honest
Mm,
with you. But again, when people come seeking for it,
yeah,
then you know when I'm confirming what I'm feeling or what I'm sensing with who's coming through, and I confirm that with them. Honestly, when they confirm and they know that the person that they want to speak to has come through for them, you can feel an overwhelming feeling of gratitude, satisfaction, and just shock from the person as well
yeah,
because they're receiving some information. It is beautiful, Fred, to be honest with you. It really is. It's lovely
yeah.
to see people smile at a time of when they're really struggling with a situation that they have no control over.
And I
And
suppose
it is a
it's
blessing.
a
It is
huge
beautiful.
comfort for them as well, isn't it?
It is, my duck. Yeah,
Mm,
absolutely. A massive comfort. And it's a
yeah,
comfort for us as well because we
mm,
know, like I said to you, and I do stress this all the time, and I swear it's the truth. It is because you want to help the person that's in need. And as soon as you know you've helped them, like you, if you help somebody, like I know the job you do,
Mhm.
and that is very demanding. But doing that, my darling, when you see that you're helping and supporting somebody, it's that sense you just feel like proud of yourself because you know what you're doing is helping or supporting and
Yeah.
helping them move forward more freely as well.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you do to protect yourself spiritually as a physical medium?
Okay, so there's a couple of activities that I'd like to do, and there is one piece of jewelry that
Yeah.
I wear all the time. So I'll talk about the jewelry in a second for you.
Yeah.
But the activities I like to do before I do readings and after, or when I'm doing, I don't, I don't do mediumship readings, but mediumship comes through why I'm doing, like I said to you, with the energy healings, when I'm doing healings or when I'm doing readings for people, that's when it comes through. I've never actually sat and done a full mediumship reading with somebody because I let it just come naturally, not try and
Mhm.
force it come through for me. So, but I protect myself, Freya, with firstly asking my guardians to stand by me while before I start reading with anybody. I ask them to come and stand with me. I ask them to give me protective light towards me and my client as well to stop anything negative coming for them. I have a Palo Santo, sorry, a Palo Santo smudge stick that I use. So it's not the piece of wood.
Yep.
I put oil in it and I move it around me because it is an amazing, amazing protector. It really is. It cleanses, it cleans, it clears, and it keeps it why it's radiant around you. So I use like an oil, so it's always radiating. Also, when I'm with the client, um, I always cleanse the energy while I'm with them. So I don't let anything, I don't ask anything to come over to me. I ask the information to come in for them. I ask them for protection. And then when they leave, I ask them to take the energy back. I always give my clients a hug after anything I do with them as well, because I give their energy back to them. That's my way
Mm.
of transferring their energy back to them so I don't keep it.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
And you meant and the jewelry as well.
yes. So I have Moldavite that I wear every
Hang
day.
on,
All
Moldavite. Is that the one that's
yeah,
not from this planet?
yeah.
Oh
So
my
what
goodness.
happened
I've heard
was,
all about Moldavite and it sounds scary, but I'm sure you'll talk me
yeah,
through it.
it's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. So it is one of the highest vibrating tektites on the planet. So what happened was 15 billion years ago, a meteorite crashed on the Maldive River in the Czech Republic. And this is the only place that Moldavite exists. Exists as Moldavite because it's on the Maldive River, and it's got
Oh.
like a green color because when the meteorite impacted the Earth, obviously there was a lot of trees, there was a lot of greenery, and as it formed and as it cooled, it took on all of the color
Mm.
of what was around. And it is a very intense crystal to wear constantly. It does give me giddy spells quite a lot, which is very, very strange when you're not expecting it. But it protects you so much. It's called the Traveler's Stone. So it helps you and protects you on your travels and journeys.
Yeah.
Um, and it is such an amazing protector and it helps with insight. It helps because it's such a high vibrating crystal and it's not something that we can sense until we put the energy into trying to sense it. There are some very energy sensitive people out there, Freya, that you
Yeah.
can give a crystal to in their hand and they can feel it and they don't understand what they're feeling because they don't realize that they're energy sensitive to certain frequencies and vibrations.
Mm.
So it's interesting. So yeah, it's a good crystal. You should. Have you got any? Do you have any?
No, no. So you I didn't expect you to say what you said about Moldavite. Um, I think a few years ago, it was probably during it must have been during lockdown when Oh, I
Yeah.
can't believe I'm gonna be saying this now. Here we go. So when
Come on.
everyone was on TikTok, everyone and their mums was on TikTok in 2020 because we had nothing else
Yeah.
better to do, right? There was a massive Moldavite trend going through TikTok, and I don't know how I ended up on
Yeah.
the algorithm, but I did for whatever reason. And
Yeah.
all of these spiritual, witchy people were getting Moldavite, and then they were saying,
Yeah.
"Don't get it, it absolutely ruins your life." And I was like, "Oh my god,
No.
like, seriously?" And they were, like, saying, "I lost my job, I lost my boyfriend, I lost my house." And I think it was, like, a year later, there was another trend going around going, "Moldavite people, you okay? We haven't heard from you for a while. What's going on?" Like
Yeah. Honestly, that now people again, I deal, as you can imagine, my love, we have a lot of clients and new clients. People come in just as drop-ins and one-offs, and whenever you're dealing with crystals and energy, okay, people don't understand. Sometimes people don't understand, excuse me, that what they're dealing with contains a natural energy. Okay. And
Mm,
if your body is energy sensitive and you don't realize, it will send you, it will make you feel different. You will feel like things are going wrong because you don't understand why you're sensing what you're sensing and feeling the way you are, because you're not concentrating and looking at the properties and qualities of the product or item that you are taking the energy from, you know?
yeah.
And like I said to you, Freya, it is a very, very high vibration crystal. And
Mm,
people say you shouldn't wear it all the time. Listen to this story, right? So I've had this now. I've never taken it off. I've had it on my neck for around 6 years. Okay. So
mm,
I had it on all the time, and I used to work away quite a lot before I had my injury with my back. And I woke up one morning, I was late. So I got ready. I was staying away for 2 nights, and I was working in South Cornwall. So we was living in Northamptonshire, Freya, and
yeah.
I was working down in Wadebridge. So it was taking me around 5.5 hours drive. When I got to Western Supermare, now when I'm driving, I always hold my Moldavite. I sort of hold it and I sort of rub it in my hands, and then I let go and I carry on driving. And I always do it with my left hand. Anyway, I started feeling a bit anxious. The traffic started getting really heavy. People were driving a bit silly. I got a big van. So I started slowing down. So I went for my Moldavite, realized I didn't have it on.
Mm.
So I started, all of a sudden, this like overwhelming, not panic, but like a sense of like, oh my, I can't believe I've not got it. So I turned around at the next junction and drove the 3 hours back home to go and collect my Moldavite, just to put it back on to drive back down to Cornwall again.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because I know, I just love it when I wear it. When I don't
Yeah,
wear it, I do feel different.
yeah.
It does feel calmer for me, but I thrive on like high vibration. I love high vibration. I
Mm,
love it. It's
yeah.
great. It makes you feel a bit giddy at times, but it is really good. It
Awesome.
elevates you, Freya. It
Yeah.
elevates you.
Well, it's nice to hear something positive about
It
Moldavite
is good.
from
It
someone
is
who I'm
good.
speaking to directly who uses it rather than some silly algorithm on TikTok.
Yeah. To be honest, when he came out, I mean, I had my Moldavite before that, and when that came out, it did make me chuckle, and I know exactly what you're talking about. And it's it's funny because I know a couple of people that have got it. They don't have it on as often as I do, but they work with it quite a lot.
Mhm.
And one of my friends, he said to me, he's like, "You should do a video and just." I was like, "Man, I don't even want to." I said, "I don't even want the arguing with people. I'm not about arguing. I'm just telling them what works for me and what I feel would be beneficial to them. And if they want to listen, they will. If they don't, they won't." So
Yeah, yeah.
best way
Just
to be with them, I love, to be honest.
okay, so with regards to jewelry then, and when we were at Witch Festival, we talked a little bit about charms and charm casting as well, but we didn't really get into sort of full detail about that. And I would love to talk to you about that as well if you've got time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I love talking about it because it's not a divination that's seen as often anymore. Um, and to be honest, when you look at it, it's one of the oldest forms of divination out there. So
Okay.
casting charms, bones, stones. You can do shells. It's the way that you read them. I mean, the charms that I use are physical forms. So if you look at it, you can see that it's a bird. However, there are different forms of the bird within the charms that I use. So each bird means a different thing. So you get the dove. Okay, the dove is like peace, feeling at peace. Wanting to feel more, you should be taking more time to feel a little bit more relaxed in what you're doing. You're rushing around too much, depending on what it comes out on as well, because the board that I use has reflection, work, love life, balance. Can't remember. There's 12 on there. I can't remember them all, sorry. But there's quite a few on there. So each charm that you pick up obviously represents something different. And then if I drop, say, a pair of glasses on love, okay, I would say to you, and again, depending on whereabouts in the love as well. So it looks like a pizza sliced into 12 pieces, the board, and each one is a certain width and a depth. Okay, so it goes fat at the top, pointy at the bottom. The closer to the middle it is, it's coming to being to where it needs to be. The further away from the middle it is, then it needs more work. So if I dropped a pair of glasses on love halfway up, I would say, right, okay, you've come to a point now in your relationship where you know you need to take a look at things because things aren't the way that you thought they were going to be for you. So you're not consciously doing it, but you're paying more attention to what's going on around you. And it is something that's been needed for a long time. So again, if it was work with the glasses, it's right, you're struggling with something at work. Things are getting to you, you're letting them get to you too much, and you need to take a look at it. If it's close to the middle, it's saying, right, okay, you're going in the right direction with what you're doing with work and opportunities are coming for you, but you need to think about the opportunities that you are choosing to take. Okay, so yeah, they all mean different things, and people are very shocked, to be honest, because they are quite accurate, Freyja. I always let the clients choose their own charms. I let them drop them themselves. I tell them exactly what to do, where to hold it. If so, the board's quite large. It's probably around 12 to 14 inches in diameter, and I always get them to hold it around 12 inches off the board, and then drop the charms. If the charms go off the board, we don't use them. I let them pick a few more and then drop them again. But I normally go for around 10 charms per reading, depending on how it's going for them, what information comes through. So, but I've got males on there. I've got females. I've got gentlemen and old ladies. So again, each one would mean something within a situation you're currently experiencing. I've also got a father figure and a mother figure as well. But yeah, there's so many different things, my love. So, but they are really, really cool. Honestly, they are cool. Next time I see you, I'll make sure when I know you're going to be somewhere, I'll bring them with me and I will show you and talk you through them and let you have a play. And I'll give you a charm, your first charm reading.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
I'll do that as a gift. I'll give you a gift as a first charm reading.
That would be incredible. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yeah.
What has been your most affirming or perhaps favorite experience as a psychic?
What, as a psychic or a physical psychic?
Actually, both.
Okay, right. So physical psychic. So I was working with somebody a few years ago now, and I was doing. I've read for her a few times, and she said to me, "She said, I'd really like to come for healing." I said, "That's fine, my darling." I said, "Come when you like." And then the next day, she messaged T and said to her, "I'd like can I book in with Paul and come and have some healing?" And she said, "Yeah, that's fine." And she came and normal greeting. I'd done my usual before. I used to have clients come. I used to call in the energies. I always ask mother. I always ask mother for the energy as well. I used to say, "Mother, please help me. Please guide me. Please give me the energy to work with." the divine, and the energy is for the greater good for the person I'm going to be working with. Anyway, I do what I do, and she came, and as soon as she walked in, she started crying.
Oh.
And I said to her, that, to be honest with you, Freya, I have that a lot when they come for healing. As soon as they come and sit down, they start to cry, which is good because I want them to release. I don't want them to feel embarrassed. I want them to feel relaxed. I want them to feel at peace.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it's about. And she sat, spoke to her, started a chat with her just about, what's been going on. Are you okay? And she said, yeah, everything's fine. And then she lay down. And as soon as I started working with the Freya, I was doing crystal healing at the time. And I was doing my healing session, sorry. I was doing sound with crystals. And as soon as I started working with her, I felt like there was a lady with me. And this lady was really adamant that I spent a lot of time working on her tummy. Okay. I felt like I had to keep working around this lady's tummy. Now, when I was working there, I've done all my healing. The healing went on for about an hour and 20 minutes. I only normally do about a 40-minute healing, but I felt like I couldn't stop. I just felt like I needed to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the lady came round, sat her up, gave her a bottle of water, I sat and spoke to her for 10 minutes. And I said to her, I feel like you need to go to the doctor. I says, you've got something that's not right around your tummy area. I said, I feel like it's lower than your tummy, to be honest with you. I said, I feel like it's sort of in your uterus area, your ovaries area, uterus area. Anyway, she went to the doctor, she went for tests, came back, she had ovarian cancer.
Oh my gosh.
And the lady, I explained to her exactly what I felt. I said to her what this lady was making me feel. And this lady was a nan, I think she said. And I think she had the same situation that she passed away with. I think I've got goose pimples talking to you about it right now. Yeah. It's making me feel all goose pimply. So yeah, that was as nice as it was that I knew that I was getting the confirmation. It wasn't a nice situation, but you know what? I'm glad I helped her because she called us up like 2 weeks later. She was crying. She sent us a message as well. We still have the message now. From her, and yeah, she says thank you. She said because I don't know what would happen because she's so stubborn not to go to the doctors. Freya, she don't go. She says she don't like going to the doctors, and I said to her, please go. I feel like I need to tell you, you need to do this. But yeah, that physical point, the way I was feeling, and I didn't feel too good for 2 days after. I felt really poorly for a couple of days after. So yeah, but it helped. It was good. It was good, but that was probably yeah. There was. I'll tell you something else when I see you.
Okay.
I don't want to say. I don't. Yeah. Yeah. It's a bit graphic to be on here.
No, that's fine
at the moment. But I'll tell you something which will make your eyebrows rise. But psychic wise, okay. There was a gentleman I was reading for. Now, I don't get many men come for readings, to be honest with you. Again, I know why, because as men, we don't like talking about anything or, admitting anything, quite stubborn we are as men. But when they do come, I really enjoy it because I like talking to them because, being able to talk to somebody that can understand your situation, that actually understands it because they're feeling it and sensing it and seeing it, and then helping them guide through it. It's really nice, actually, Freya. I wish more men would just open up a little bit, and just relax about things. Yeah, it'd be good. It'd be good for them. Honestly, It's good. But yeah, I was reading for this gentleman anyway, and I was telling him a lot of things that was coming through to me. And then all of a sudden, I could just see this guy. It's making me feel upset, actually, seeing this army guy. And he was standing next to a red Ducati. I think it was a Ducati. I said to this guy at the time, anyway. And I said to him, I said, I've got this guy here with me. I said, I feel like there's this guy here. I said, I said, there's this army guy. I said, he's quite a good looking chap, actually. I says, and he stood next to this Ducati bike. I said, he died on his motorbike. And this guy just is, honestly, Freya, I've never seen anybody look so shocked. Even what we do and of the information that we've given this guy, he said, I'm a skeptic. When he sat down, he said, I'm a skeptic. He said, I've been asked to come. He says, I think I need to come. He says, I don't believe this sort of stuff. I said, no, that's all right. Don't worry. I says, I'll just tell you what I need to tell you. But he was gobsmacked, and the colour drained out of him.
Oh, bless him.
When I was sat talking to him, and I said to him, "You all right?" And he says, "That's my mate." He says, and he started crying, started getting upset. But yeah, it's making me feel upset actually telling you, because I remember I can feel the emotion that he felt at that point, and also the emotion from the guy that had his wings as well, because he's managed to let his skeptic friend know he's okay. So yeah, they're probably the two that stick out the most, apart from the one that I will share with you when I see you. But please remind me. I know you won't forget, because you're intrigued, aren't you? But
I am intrigued. But thank you so much for sharing those incredible stories. Thank you.
That's okay.
Yeah, they're just amazing to listen to, and such
Yeah, thank you for
confirmation as
asking.
well. Absolutely.
Yeah,
No,
it's nice
pleasure.
actually. It's put a smile on my face, so thank you. It's
Oh.
brought back memories for me.
Oh, you're
Thank you.
welcome. Well, that's not always nice to hear. That's always nice to hear.
Yeah.
What? Oh, I don't know if I've asked you this yet. No, I don't think I have. Out of all of the divination methods that we've gone and discussed, and all the things that you do,
Yeah.
and you are well versed in a range of modalities, what is your favourite method of divination?
Oh, how many favourites can I have?
You can have as many as you like.
all of them. No, it's to be honest with you, it depends. It depends on the situation, Freya.
Yeah.
Because if, like I said to you with the charms are really soft, visual items. Cards, yes. Again, I use Oracle mostly, because a lot of people struggle with tarot. So it's like to have the diversity between my wife and I.
Yeah.
But I do like palm reading as well. Again, it's something that's unique. It's different. You get a lot of information from it. Like I said to you, when people come, they can come and see you a little while later, and the lines change on their hands. I explained this to you before, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, your lines change. So yeah, situation again. Remember, your future's always changing. Things are always changing. Little things that you do differently make a big difference going forward.
It sounds almost like a tiny butterfly effect.
It is, my duck. Yeah, I love. Do you know what, Freya? I love that film. That's an amazing film.
That's an amazing film. Yeah,
it is. It is the butterfly effect, and like I was saying to you about memory, going when you're doing things with going back to situations when we were saying about past lives and things, and going back, that's similar to the butterfly effect, isn't it? It's your subconscious butterfly effect, because you were managing to, take yourself back to a point and relive something. Yeah. So my favorite is I can't answer a favorite. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I love them all. I love my charms. I love my cards. Yeah. So, but I do like all forms of divination. It's all amazing. It's all amazing. When it helps people, it's the best. It's the best.
Yeah. Do you have your own daily practices or rituals that you like to do for yourself as a practitioner?
I spend a lot of time reflecting, to be honest with you. Not just on, we always like to focus on the negative things. We always do, because it gives us something to moan about. Okay. As a human society, we all do it. I do have my moments at that, but to be honest with you, honestly, I do try to be as positive as I can be. And when I reflect on things, Freya, I like to see it from both angles. Okay. I won't just see it as this is a pain in the backside and this is going to cause me a problem. Yeah, it may. However, why is it come along? What actually am I going through right now? And why has this come along? Is this come to test me or has it come to guide me through what I'm actually going through? So yeah, analyzing your situation of the day, of your day, every day, which I do, it helps. I promise it does help. It does. Stop being negative. Stop seeing it as a negative situation, and see it as a challenge to overcome.
Yeah.
And things do get easier for me.
Yeah.
That's my way of assessing every day.
No,
I
that's
do it all the
really
time. My wife will tell you I do it all the time, Freya. I'm a nightmare.
but it's good to be objective, and also the power of your mindset. The mind is a very powerful thing. And
Oh, yeah.
if we're able to wield and harness and be aware of our own power, then we would
Yeah.
probably live healthier lives, and our well-being would probably, be in a better
Yeah.
position than it is now as a culture, civilization, society. So that's
It
quite
would
refreshing to hear,
absolutely.
actually.
Let me ask you a question. Let me
Yeah, of
ask you a
course.
question.
Oh gosh, okay.
How how often do you daydream?
Oh my god. All the time.
Do you?
All
So
the time.
do you see a pattern of what you're thinking about at that moment?
Um, I don't know. I think it very much depends on the situation. Like, I have, oh my gosh, okay, this is going to get a bit personal. I'm not going to say what, but I have favorite daydreams that I like to just revisit because it's nice. So
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just living in my head at sometimes.
Yeah.
Usually, no, not when I'm working or when I'm driving or I'm out and about. But if I'm at home, if I'm relaxing, especially if I'm falling asleep, it's like, right, where
Yeah.
am I in my Freyja fantasy book tonight? What chapter are we going into? Um, but then daydreams are, if I'm talking about a situation with someone or something's coming up at work or I'm a bit annoyed, I will have that visualization and that daydream of saying something or visualizing about the future of perhaps a potential situation that me and someone is talking about, whether it's positive or negative. I'm always
Yeah.
daydreaming. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But do you know, when we daydream, we allow ourselves for that split moment to take ourselves away from the situation we're currently not able to deal with. Daydream is really good for you, as long as, again, you're not driving
Yeah.
or operating heavy machinery. Disclaimer.
Yes.
Um, but when you let your mind be free for that moment, Freya, it really is beneficial to you, honestly. And like I said, when you're assessing something and you're over analyzing something, okay, you're putting a lot of thought into one thing. But when you let your mind run free and just be open of the moment, you let your mind deal with the situation for you
Mm,
because it shows you things. But it's just about being open, isn't it? It's just about being open with it.
yeah. Yeah. And then
It's good for you.
I suppose on the flip side of that, and this is me coming from a mental
I
health
know what you're going to
background,
say.
I know what I'm
I
going
know
to
what you're going to
say, and
say.
a
Yeah.
psychological background, but
Yeah.
there are people who then experience trauma where they daydream to the point of they can't
Yep.
function, so they get that. So there's that maladaptive daydreaming, or
Yes.
it, they can something absolutely terrible and heinous could happen to someone, and then they develop something called DID, which is dissociative identity disorder, where your brain
Yeah.
creates characters and alters in order to protect the brain from that trauma. Um, so I think I suppose it depends on the person, the situation.
It does.
You're a product of
It
your
does.
environment as well. Yeah.
It it does. And I knew that's why I asked you the question about daydreaming, because I knew you
Yeah.
was going to come back with that, which is then going to in turn going to allow me to say to you, um, yes, I agree, and I do deal with a lot of people that have had severe trauma that they relive, 90% of their time.
Mhm.
It always goes through their mind. So allowing ourselves to, again, this is going into the shadow side, dealing with things from a different angle. And again, I know what you do, darling, so you'll understand this. And one of the methods I like to use with it, Freya, is looking at the situation from a different angle and taking how you feel at that point, working with it, but then, not seeing it as so severe, but like watching it as a movie, playing it through as a movie with them, depending on what it is. Some things are a lot deeper, I understand, than others. But I'm talking about people's shadows and what they struggle with. But yeah, it is harsh at things. I understand, because I've had to deal with it, and like I've said to you, at my worst points when I was with my back, Freya, and things that have gone on before, it's been hard, but finding a different strategy to cope with it has helped. And my spirituality, like I explained to you before, my spirituality is something that's helped and support me through what I've had to experience.
Yeah,
really
absolutely. And I think spirituality is so important when it comes to healing as well. And it's it's something that a lot of us don't tap into, I think, in Western society, because we are so hooked on medication and medicine. Yeah,
I know, but the thing is, they help some people, they don't help others. It's the same as everything, isn't it? What works for one doesn't work for another. It's just finding what works for said person at that moment.
Absolutely.
Which is hard. And you of all people would understand exactly what I'm talking about with that as well. It is hard.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any, for my listeners who are thinking they would really like to do some more research and more information on some of the things that we've got mentioned in our episodes, do you have any books or teachings or practitioners that you would recommend people go and look at and research?
Good question. So somebody, I think I've said to you about Dolores, haven't I? Dolores Cunning.
Yeah.
So for past lives, to understand, not to understand, sorry, excuse me, to help people to understand information that they're not aware of about past lives, the other realms, I'll say, and other beings. Dolores is a really fantastic lady to listen to. Her podcast, you can get her podcast, you can listen to them. I have listened to countless hours. And to be honest with you, it just absolutely blows your mind. It really does. And it really does help you to understand the things that we are not told by mainstream. I'll leave it at that. Now, who shall I say? Right. So a couple of people with meditations that I always send my clients to. We do our own. I do have on our website. My wife and I, we've just recently worked a lot on working on a lot of downloadable material, for clients. So on our website, it takes you to our Etsy page where we've done some digital downloads and things, which are quite supportive mentally with people. And there's loads of different things. I can't remember everything off the top of my head, but I've done some shadow work things on there. They're really good, and they give you a lot of links and things to different pages. Meditation wise, now some people prefer ladies' voices and some people prefer men's voices. It depends on what meditation I want to listen to, as whether it's a male or female. So I either listen to a male with a really deep voice, or I like to listen to a female with a nice, quiet, angelic voice if I want to go into a deep trance. One of the guys is called Joe Tracy. I'll send you a link. I'll send you a link in a little while to his downloadables on YouTube. They are really good. The meditations are normally around an hour to an hour and a half.
Okay.
He's good, and he's one of the most relaxing people I've managed to calm with. And then there's a lady. Oh dear, her name has left my brain. I
That's
can't remember her
okay.
name. She's got a really unusual name, but she's fantastic. She is, Freyja. She's all about your psyche side, so like helping your brain to calm down, to slow down, because you'll know yourself, my love, when you've got a lot to do and a lot to concentrate, and your brain doesn't even slow down when you're trying to go to sleep, which is why you probably toss and turn for a little while before you get comfy, and then you'll have crazy dreams because your
Yeah.
brain's really active. And she is really good at letting your mind just close off. And I don't know how it's the music that she plays while she's talking. I think it's the way that the frequencies are. I think it's the theta waves. I think that she talks through. So yeah, that she's really good as well. But I'll try and send you her link as well. I do apologise for not remembering her name. I'm so sorry.
Honestly, no,
I
it's
should have
fine
written her name
because
down.
yeah, once you send me the links, I will link them all in the show notes for the listeners to go and have a look and do some
Yeah,
research. So that's
absolutely.
no problem, Paul. Thank you.
But I can't shout about Dolores. Honestly,
Yeah.
I always say to everybody to listen to that lady. She's just amazing. She
You know,
really is.
I think she probably was one of the very first. One of her books was probably one of the very first books that I came across, and I think it was on angels or guardian angels, and it was when I was a
Yeah.
teenager. I must have been about 14 or 15. It was my mum's book, and then I remember taking an interest in reading it and just being absolutely blown away by it. And yeah, she's such a special lady, and I think she is. Yeah, a lot of you mention her name, and a lot of people will go, even people who aren't spiritual, go, "Oh no, yeah, I've heard of her." Yeah,
Yeah.
she's incredible,
Very, very recognizable
very
name.
recognised.
Um, but very, very well respected within the
Mm,
industry as well, and beyond the industry.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
respected for who she is, and the talks I've again, the talks and the things that she used to do at the universities. I've sat and listened to all of them,
hmm,
and it's just phenomenal. Frey, it just blows your mind, my love, just listening to
yeah.
her with again doing the past life thing and listening to things that come through from people. It's just crazy. It's unbelievable. It really is unbelievable, to be honest with you. But
Mm.
it's again, it's a blessing because I get to experience it with them.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So just coming up to my final two questions now before we sort of move on to sort of future plans and events. And the
Yeah.
first question I have for you is, this is the Cornish Witch podcast, and I interview a lot of witches, spiritual practitioners, but the majority of, people that I've spoken to so far call themselves a witch or witchy. What would you call yourself when it comes to your sort of, I suppose, spiritual title?
Me.
Me? That's
um,
fine. You do
yeah,
you.
right. Well, I do class myself as a pagan
Yeah.
man, a spiritual practitioner. Um, yeah, that's a bloody hard question. That is, Freya.
Well,
That is a very hard question.
do you count you sort of count yourself or call yourself a spiritual practitioner, which many people do,
I do.
or
You see,
a
I do
pagan?
magic as well, though. I do
Yeah,
magic as well. I do actively practice my own magic. So the way
yeah,
that I do it, again, you know, if you think about it, whenever I do healing with people, like I said to you, I always do my mantras at the beginning.
yeah,
Mantras are words, words are spellings, spellings are spells. And
yeah,
speaking them, I talk with them and I do chant them as well. I don't just say it once. So that in turn is chanting, casting spells while I'm working.
yeah.
Um, so I funny story, okay, funny story. And I swear nobody knows this. Okay, my wife knows this. Nobody else knows this. So
Oh, thank you.
first, so when when I was younger, I explained to you about what I went through when I was a kid, seeing
Yeah,
spirit and things. And when I reached my teenage years, two of my cousins I used to knock around with a lot. So knock around is spend all my time with. Out,
yeah,
I used to go to school with them, outside of school, and my best mates. even though I had my brothers, they were my age. So anyway, when we was at our teenage years, don't know what happened. Something happened, and I can't remember what it was. And I said, we went to the local library. So this is before, listeners, if you're young listeners, this is before the internet. This is like books in the library.
Yeah, a big building full of
This is
books.
like 1992, 93 when I was, no, 93, I just turned 13. We went to ride on our bikes to the local library, which is probably about 50 minutes from the house on a push bike, on a bicycle. And we went into the library and we spent probably 9 hours photocopying witchcraft Bibles, witchcraft books, sorry, like different spells, how to do them. And yeah, so me and my cousin spent a lot of time in the library. And it when I was thinking back about it a little while ago, it just popped into my head. I can't remember what I was doing. It just popped into my head and I thought it was really strange. And I just remembered what we was doing for at the time. I won't say what it was, but what we was trying to do at the time. And yeah, it always stayed with me. And then after that, I did have more of an interest in witchcraft. It's not, I didn't used to do it when I was younger. Obviously, as I've practiced what I practice now as an adult, quite a few years as well previously. Yeah, I do work with magic. I wouldn't say I was a witch or a warlock or whatever the male term of witch is, but I do practice magic. I do practice it, yeah, openly when I want to, if I want to.
Yeah.
And if I feel I need to as well. So, but yeah, I'm just me. I'm just me, to be honest. I'm just Paul.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. Absolutely not. What would you say being a pagan or witch or a spiritual practitioner? I feel like there is a bit of a reclamation at the moment going on with it. And what do you feel it means in this day and age for men and women in our society?
Love yourself, love everybody, love the land, love the animals.
Yeah.
You know, being spiritual is not just, being a hippie sitting in a tent and just, being spiritual is just being open. You've got to be open and be spiritual, not just with, with yourself, but with others as well.
Yeah.
It's okay being spiritual with yourself and, being happy in your own little bubble. But when it comes to others, if you don't share the same compassion with them as well, spiritual is just about being open, isn't it? And being a pagan, like I said to you, it's nature, it's being raw, it's the land, it's the earth, it's just everything, lovely. It's just, you got to think it's just about being one, being at one with one.
Yeah.
All of us being at one with each other.
Yeah.
The land, the animals, everything, plants.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just we are, and if you let yourself, I mean, something I like to do when I can is go and sit at the beach, and I can just sit there for 3, 4, 5 hours on my own, just on a chair or in my van. I can pop right next to the beach. I can sit in my van with the window down, eyes closed, and just listen to the water.
Yeah.
And just sit for hours and hours and hours, just thinking of nothing, just being present in that moment, and just letting my mind just be free and just listen to the natural energy. That connection is, being spiritual and letting yourself be spiritual and being pagan and connecting to the earth and, is following the pagan calendar and Wheel of the Year and that. It's just, it's just doing everything different. I could sit on here, excuse me. I could sit on here now and start talking about calendars changing and dates and things. And that's you know what, Freyja? That's another 2-parter, darling. We'll talk about that another time. But yeah, following the old ways, we're behind it. We're behind in times.
Yeah. That's a great answer. Thank you so much. So
Yeah.
what do you have planned for the future, sort of events wise? You and Tatiana.
Wow. We've got, honestly, our diary is it's just so busy.
Oh, that's
We've
great
got,
though.
I'm looking forward to, in May, Festival of Pagans and Witches in Coventry. I'm looking
Yes,
forward to that.
yes.
Because it's
Yeah, I've never been.
when I get to see a lot of
Yeah.
people face to face, you know, a lot of people we've been seeing for many, many years and talking to. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, we've got quite a bit. I mean, at the moment, we've signed in a new tenancy for our house on the 1st of December because we're moving up a little bit. And
Congratulations.
then we sign our tenancy for our shop on the 1st of December in Glastonbury.
Amazing. Congratulations.
Yes. Thank you very much. Really looking forward to the opportunity and the challenge.
Yeah.
And the new beginnings. I really am. And what's interesting, listen to this. This is amazing. So we got the keys. We get the keys for our shop on the 1st. We get the keys for the house on the 1st, which is 11. We viewed the house on the 11th of the 11th. And we also got accepted for the shop on the 11th of the 11th.
That's incredible. That is,
honestly, we weren't even, that's amazing. We weren't even thinking about it at the time, Freya. It was only when we was going through the paperwork and it said 11th of November. And T said, oh, it's 11th for the 11th. And then when she was signing the paperwork contract for the shop, she's like, oh my God, it's 11th for the 11th. I was like, yeah. And then we're getting the keys for the shop and the house on the 1st of the 12th, sorry. So yeah, we're all about the 11s at the minute.
That's great.
So,
that's absolutely wonderful. It's like nice confirmation, like you're where you need to be as well.
Absolutely.
That's so lovely.
But yeah, you can. There's a lot coming up. I mean, our Facebook group and Instagram and website. There's information goes on there about where we're going to be and what we're doing, and we have got a very busy year in 2026. To be honest with you,
yeah.
You know, getting this shop up and running in Glastonbury hopefully is going to take off for us, and you know, we've got everyone's stuff that we work collaboratively with around the country, all the little sellers that we sell the stuff for. And yeah, but it's going to be a great year, honestly. I'm really looking forward to it, my duck. And we've got the witch festivals and stuff coming up as well. So yeah, awesome. Yeah,
so
I just hope I'm all right.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. As long as you pace yourself and you make sure you take some time.
Yeah, I know. I know. Thank you.
If anyone wants to book in with yourself for a reading or for a session, how can they go about doing that?
So you can visit our page, our website, which is hello@thegypsyandwitch.com.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, a lot of people use, to be honest with you, Freya, I don't have any social media. My wife does it all. You can find us on Instagram, which is The Gypsy and the Witch. And our Facebook is probably the easiest option for everybody.
Okay.
Which is The Gypsy and the Witch.
Yeah.
You'll see us both on there. I think there's a picture of us, both of us on there, on the opening page. Yeah. Because I think there's another page on there called that as well. But you've got our page. You can ping it on the link on there, can't they, darling? Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, so I will link it all.
If not, I'll get my secretary and my wife to send it over. So yeah, thank you.
Paul, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you over these past couple of episodes. I definitely need to have you back on so we can discuss numerology and palmistry as well.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
For my listeners, watch this space because I will be having Paul back for more discussions. Thank you so much for your time, Paul. I really appreciate it, and you've been absolutely fascinating to talk to.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate your time, Freya. And thank you for asking me as well.
Oh, you're very welcome. Been a pleasure.
Thank you very much, my love.
I hope you all enjoyed listening to this 2-part episode with Paul. I really enjoyed my conversation with him, and as you can tell, we had a lot to talk about, which is why I had to split the episode into 2 parts, but I also think it's a really great way to have kicked off season 2. If you haven't listened to Tatiana's podcast interview. She features on season 1, episode 4, and that is called The Witch of the Old Ways. So if you'd like to go and listen to what Tatiana does, please go and find that episode. I really hope to have Paul and Tatiana back on the show soon. There is still so much more that I would like to cover with them. I have linked all of Paul's recommendations from this episode in the show notes, along with his and Tatiana's website, The Gypsy and the Witch, and their socials. So please go and have a look and check out the wonderful work that they're doing. We now return to our segment of the show where I let you know the Witch Weekly events that are happening in Cornwall and South Devon. Starting with local covens that are seeking new members. So if you're a solitary witch looking to join a coven, this might be for you. Ros and Booker, one of Cornwall's longest established covens, and they hold meetings in North Cornwall and the Devon-Cornwall border. Applicants are welcome to introduce themselves via email and can visit their website for more information. Rebecca, who is the mother priestess of the Temple of Cornwall, she runs the Temple's Mystery School, and she is starting to accept new students for her sister and later on Priestess of Cornwall training. This opens on the 1st of February. I've linked the website in the show notes along with Ros and Booker's information as well. The Cunning Grove are running their Coven of the Sacred Grove. Their second Coven group is nearly full with just 2 spaces left for their Thursday night meetings. They have mentioned that they do have some interest in holding groups on other nights, such as a Wednesday, and if they get enough interest, they will do a third night. They also have an online coven that continues to grow alongside the physical one, with all the coven groups mixing together, with friendships forming, great conversations, and even better questions. This month, they've been learning all about runes, and so far they have learned how to craft runes, rune boards, and rune cloths. They've also learned how to cast, read, and interpret the runes. There's a 13th lesson being taught over the year on the human energy system, and currently there is a collection of pages making the connection between the Kabbalistic tree of life and the chakra system. They will also be dropping some additional teachings on the 3 cauldrons, a Celtic vision of the human energy system. They also plan to do some deep diving for runes for shadow work, self-help and therapy, and also detailing on how to combine with the tarot to give a deep transformative reading. Joining the Coven brings a range of benefits for members with discounts on products, services and courses. You get access to the Coven Grimoire and all training materials, and access to the group chat with all Coven members. Local Coven members are also able to check out books from their library. To join the physical Coven, it's £30 and £15 if you'd like to join the online Coven. And I have linked the Cunning Grove's details in the show notes if you would like to contact them to join. If you run a Coven or hold a sister circle in Cornwall or South Devon and you're open to having new members join you, please let me know and I will give you a shout out on the next episode. Witchy and spiritual events. We have again the Cunning Grove, who are in Plymouth, and on Saturday mornings they hold their Witch, Bitch and Brew from 11 a.m. until the last witch leaves. The Cabinet of Folklore and Magic down in Falmouth are back holding their tarot readings on Saturday mornings. Hedge&Wild are holding an online Imbolc ceremony. They will share insights into the Sabbat, a drum journey to the smithy with the goddess Bridget, a ritual of light that you can participate in, time and reflection for journaling, and a sacred flame healing meditation. This will take place online on Wednesday, the 28th of January, 6:30 p.m. until 8 p.m. Tickets are £15 and full details can be found on their website. Sacred Kernow Circle in Liskeard on the 25th of January, holding a Charm Divination Workshop where you can create your own charm divination oracle tool. 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. and I have linked Sacred Kernow's information for you to go and book your place in the show notes. And finally, an evening of psychic and mediumship readings is being held at the Holsworthy Golf Club in South Devon. This will be on the 30th of January at 7 p.m. Food, raffle, bar and gifts and stalls will be there as well. Tickets are £10. I have linked the Facebook information in the show notes, along with the telephone numbers you can call to book your ticket. Thank you so much for listening to the Cornish Witch Podcast. This podcast is an independent personal project created outside of my professional life. It exists as a space for conversation with witches, spiritual practitioners, and those walking their own paths, sharing lived practice, ritual, experience, and folklore often rooted here in Cornwall and the land itself. If you value these conversations and would like to support the continuation of the podcast, there is a voluntary link in the show notes. Listening will always remain free and there is no expectation to contribute. Whether you support here, listen quietly, or carry these stories onward by sharing them with others, thank you. Your presence honours the craft and keeps these tellings alive. May these stories find you when they are meant to. And until next time, may the path rise to meet you.